at the scene of the tragedy. Energy of the only absolute. Please, I beseech you, please put me back in my team. Lions of the Eagles' first official costume. Thank you.
Flashy Vizio, the cameras are here for us, so we, the ones of one, even the true lovers of the only absolute one, have just a little moment to get our act together. You see how many people came rushing at our presence as we were entering through Arcade's gate. Listen, we as the ones, officially for this moment, advertising such spiritual ones game, with our celebrity status, cannot, and I ever so many, we the ones, truly can never start tripping at this time. For very soon the light will be on, for us to be the ones introducing this epic game, which is now in over 13 languages.
La Batia, are you telling me about the coming on of the light? I am your role model. You even once tried to look like me, thanks to one leprechaun, which quickly transformed you back to your original countenance. However, I must say that pleasing the only absolute one, Aaron L. Bonner, is what made me who I am today, Miss Flashy Vizio Official. Having said that, some of us, not all, may have a favorite character in which we would want to look like, in which the coming chapter would unveil. Chapter 10, that's to say, will be unfolding after this television show, which is Podcast 101 for the renowned classic novel, Fantasyy My Fantasy. Some people like Sarah Lee, while others like Iomi, the one and only tour guide. But you chose to look like I, the first ever sexy tall long legs female hardcore gamer, whom literally has 4 to 6 championship under her belt. Courtesy of the #1 gaming franchise, a super dick sucker wasting nothing of Emperor Aaron L. Bonner's semen. After all, he's the one, in biblical St. Matthew 10 verse 28, which the Lord Jesus stated is not only able to do away with you, but to also cast your soul in hell, according to the sacred scripture. Therefore, knowing his value, only female Iomi, the tour guide, can compare to I in pleasing him, beside the female Russian, which you'll be knowing about soon after the podcast, a female Cuban, and one female by the name of Scar Ria, a queen of Nigeria. Thus, we all are partners of one team, the same one, which I am also on Lions of the Eagle. Therefore, my girlfriend Labatia, you really have a lot of work to do before you ever, and I meant before you literally can ever reach this level. For we automatically, as one collaborative group, are champions of what we do, going into Once Tomorrow. But take heart, for you're with the right
Wow.
company.
I am blessed
Me.
to know such one as you, Flashy, despite of being one science teacher. However, no hard feelings, but I, as a promising one, has obtained mastery in science. Therefore, I honestly think having a relationship with the only absolute is what I need next. I know there's something phenomenal to discover, especially where sex is concerned. Can you imagine drawing his high feeling and at the same having mine? How high can I get, therefore, for the sake of this legendary discovery I, Miss Labadia,
Sorry, but
has
as one
literally
highly
made
favored by
the
the
only
Emperor,
absolute
honestly
one,
think you're being
my
crazy.
coming
You
goal.
want his favor, even his ear. What is going on with your nation, Labatia? I meant Miss Labatia? Hold. The cameraman is ready. Afterwards, you may share such with me. Look, the lights are on. Start speaking what we have rehearsed.
I know that you lost your way.
Vizio official, as we, the ones of the omnipresent, are both looking on the screen of this fantastic game arcade box, Lions of Aaron L. Bonner, and at this time, one for the cameras. On the screen of this fantastic game arcade box, Lions of the Eagle, and at this time, one for the cameras. Therefore, 10th episode, hereby gonna press the start button. Wow. Flashy Vizio, you finally reached Chapter 10 in Fantasyy My Fantasy, seemingly long, epic gaming franchise. Having said that, as I finished Chapter 9, the question still goes begging. In that, how could Emperor Aaron L. Bonner's energy abruptly brought about a portal upon Samoy as she entered the cold refrigerator to get two smoothies, one distinct from the other? Now, despite of being rhetorical, let me say that because he wanted to teach her that Woodland is very cold.
What the fuck? Where am I?
Super crazy this may sound as depicted even in the Lions of the Eagle's tangible book. Destiny was forewarning her, telling her not to drink 2 times of the same flavor, otherwise she would have never gotten back. I literally meant would never gotten back from such dimension. Bear in mind that she asked one question twice, being in oblivion of where she had supernaturally found herself. Yes, as crazy as this may sound, however, she suddenly returned because the flavor was not the same. One would have concluded choices due served and even hell bent in shaping one's destiny, ironically unveiling nothing less than absolute euphoria. Anyways, my role model, Flashy, like the all-sufficient Emperor Aaron L. Bonner in the spirit, is a seemingly one role model. Val, Victoria, Chandrika, certain medical personnel, etc. In real time, certainly except for those them. At number 48, we both have arrived at this threshold of this spiritual, analogical, ever-brewing, one-of-a-kind epic saga, the podcast segment as the main narrative ones of this beautiful game, an informative brand hosted by a handsome Russian and one virgin splendid Vietnamese female, one adorable virgin Iranian female, and one virgin magnificent Nigerian female, originally setting the mood for our Lions of the Eagle's compulsory beloved audience, even the ever-indomitable secreted ones, which at this time going to get a comprehensive overview of the quote-unquote king of audiobooks, profound franchise by the ever-passionate author Aaron L. Bonner, spurring from Chapter 1 to 9.
Okay, the show ready. This is showtime. Now you're listening. Podcast. You'll be hearing these ones, which are very eloquent. After 3, 2, 1, your time.
Imagine a world where choosing the wrong smoothie flavor could trap you in another dimension forever. That's exactly the kind of mind-bending reality we're exploring in Fantasyy My Fantasy, where even the most mundane choices carry cosmic consequences.
The way the story weaves everyday decisions into supernatural consequences is really fascinating. How do you think the author manages to make something as simple as a refrigerator visit feel so pivotal?
Well, it's all in how Emperor Aaron L. Bonner sets up these layers of meaning. You know, the refrigerator isn't just cold, it's this perfect metaphor for the heartless nature of woodland itself. And the fact that Samoy has to choose different smoothie flavors to escape? That's some seriously clever symbolism about breaking patterns to avoid getting trapped in life.
And the way it connects to the larger themes of destiny and choice throughout the series is pretty remarkable.
Exactly. And let me tell you something interesting about how this fits into the broader narrative structure. The story is actually part of what they're calling the King of Audiobooks franchise, which spans multiple media formats. It's like this intricate web where every small detail, even smoothie flavors, can have these huge ripple effects across the entire storyline.
The diverse narrative voices really add something special too. Having perspectives from different cultural backgrounds brings such richness to the storytelling.
Oh man, that's such a crucial point. You've got this fascinating mix of narrators, a Russian host alongside Vietnamese, Iranian, and Nigerian voices. And each one brings their own cultural lens to how they interpret these moments of choice and destiny. It's like getting multiple angles on the same cosmic truth.
Speaking of cosmic truths, what do you make of how the story handles this concept of absolute euphoria that comes from understanding these deeper meanings?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. The story suggests that this state of enlightenment isn't some distant, mystical thing, it's actually right there in our everyday choices. Like Samoy's moment of truth comes from something as simple as picking different smoothie flavors, but
What?
and taking control of your destiny. It represents
The
this
way it
much
balances
deeper
these
understanding
huge
about
philosophical
breaking free
concepts
from
with such
patterns.
relatable moments is pretty masterful.
You know what's really clever about that balance? The author uses these seemingly mundane moments to explore some pretty heavy themes about free will and predetermined destiny. It's suggesting that even in a world where fate plays a huge role, our individual choices still matter enormously. Like even something as simple as picking a different smoothie flavor can literally save your life, or, in this case, prevent you from being trapped in another dimension.
That reminds me of how traditional folklore often uses everyday objects as gateways to magical realms. This story seems to be putting a modern spin on that concept.
Exactly right, and let's talk about how this connects to the larger cast of characters. You've got Esther, the Abyssal Princess, Carmilla, Virtuous Val, Victoria, and Chandrika, all these figures who are connected to Emperor Aaron L. Bonner as his chosen ones. Each of them probably had their own moments of choice that determined their destinies.
The interconnectedness of all these characters really adds depth to the world building.
And here's what I find most fascinating about this whole setup. It's taking these big, universal themes about choice and destiny and making them accessible through these very specific, relatable moments. It's like the author is saying that we're all constantly making choices that could have profound implications, even if we don't realize it at the time.
So what you're saying is that the real magic isn't in the portal or the supernatural elements, but in the power of our everyday decisions?
That's exactly it. And you know what makes this story so powerful? It's showing us that the line between ordinary and extraordinary isn't as clear as we might think. Every choice we make, even something as simple as what flavor smoothie to grab, could be the moment that changes everything. It's really a brilliant way of making us think about how we approach our own daily decisions.
Well, that certainly gives me a new perspective on my morning coffee choices.
Let me wrap this up by saying that what makes this story truly special is how it manages to be both fantastical and deeply relatable at the same time. It's taking these huge concepts about destiny and choice and making them tangible through something as simple as choosing different smoothie flavors. In the end, maybe that's the real message, that there's magic in all of our choices, if we just know where to look.
Thank you. So my compulsory audience, you have just heard the first episode regarding the podcast. So in short terminology, you can just say you have heard podcast 101. However, if you want to truly make mention of this in its one entirety regarding the name given for the podcast, then you will have to say this way: Book Club Dimension 101. Thank you, my compulsory listeners, my beloved ones, for you know I am Aaron L. Bonner. I want to say that I don't need to go about for people to know about this project, because when the fullness of God is literally on the earth, which is emanating from a particular prophecy, biblical Ephesians 1:23, which states, which is his body, the fullness of him that fills all in all, as well as biblical Habakkuk 2:14, which states, the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the water covers the sea. So you have just heard the first episode of the podcast 101. Thanks for listening. Chapter 10 has now been concluded. Stay tuned